Thank you. All right, guys, thanks for joining us this morning. Christine is going to show us how to use this new platform, One Home. I know a lot of agents have been frustrated with the platform. So Christine, thank you, and I will give you the floor.
Okay, sounds great. Good morning, everyone. There has been a big change with One Home. It is your new customer portal through CoreLogics, and I'll do my best to walk you through the program. It is new for all of us. It's a lot of newness, and with newness, we are going to experience some pain points. So I'm hoping to guide you through these the best I can. And also, we are waiting for some of the issues or pain points to be resolved in the near future. So we're working together in order to make this program a great program for us. That's at the end of the day our goal. I wanted to get started on miamirealtors.com, and I wanted to give you some pages where you can always go back to and refer back to them if you have any additional questions. Please always consider me one of your resources. My name is Christy Denny's. I am one of your Miami instructors, and if you've never had a class with me before, it is my absolute pleasure to be with you today, as well as EWM. And I do want to thank Judith for putting this together for all of us. And our email is trainers@miamire.com. That will access or give you access to the trainers in the Miami Association of Realtors. We are a resource for you. Contact us at any time. We will do our best to get in contact with you immediately throughout our classes, right? So on miamirealtors.com, I did want to show you we have a service page already built out for One Home. And you can access service pages if you're ever interested or curious about a new program. Use the forward-facing slash and then input the word One Home. This will give you access to that service page, but you can do it for anything such as Form Simplicity, Matrix, etc. Agent 3000. We have built out for you a One Home page where you'll have access to a quick tutorial. This is an introductory video that I want to share with you guys. It is a short video and it's a great way to start our class.
CoreLogic brings you One Home. One Home provides real estate professionals with a state-of-the-art listing management platform and a virtual collaboration home buying portal. One Home helps everyone find their dream homes with connections to everything they need to know, including market insights, livability scores, mortgage calculators, and resources for local service professionals. Leveraging the latest AI-enabled technology, it provides a better, more seamless experience with the most up-to-date data on the market. Homebuyers can score property preferences to match them with their dream home with access anytime, anywhere, from any device. Within One Home, you will find the marketplace which connects homebuyers to mortgage, homeowners insurance, and home improvement resources, including important broker and agent recommendations. CoreLogic provides the most powerful and feature-rich multiple listing ecosystem available in the industry. Now integrated with marketing service portals that enable faster, more intuitive ways for real estate professionals to help their customers. One Home also helps you find the right professional to make your home move-in ready. With our curated list of home improvement providers and contractors in your area, we want to ensure that the most important purchase of your life is also one of the best experiences too. Start your journey off right and visit onehome.com to see why there is no place like One Home.
All right. So that is a quick introduction into One Home. It's also a great way that we can give it a few minutes as agents are still jumping onto the class. We have a great number of you guys that decided to start your Friday morning learning about One Home. So thank you so much for joining us. Now, as you can see, the consumer, when they were thinking of the consumer, CoreLogix thought of your consumer, right? The customer who's actually actively using this website in order to find property. And as you see, it does have a very modern feel, and it can give you a resemblance to other websites that not agents, consumers are popping into. They are popping into that Zillow website. They are popping into realtor.com, Trulia, etc., in order for them to find additional resources regarding their homes. Why? Because they want additional information. The journey of the agent, the journey of your customer, whether they are selling or buying property, it's very research heavy, and it's probably the longest part of that journey is that additional research. By the time they are contacting you, of course, they are closer or tend to be closer towards the action of purchase or selling, but that research journey is still very prominent during that time when they initially contact you. So they wanted to give their agents, CoreLogic agents, members, the ability to offer a website that would give them or your customer easy access to additional information regarding property. They wanted to have a very modern feel, light colors, easy movability throughout the website, and a lot of additional information that our old portal did not have. So think of it that way. They were thinking of the consumer, right? So that they can have this website that's from realtors. So they already know that realtor.com, that Zillow, that Trulia is an outside vendor. They're not realtors that are giving them that information. Now, One Home is kind of like your website, your platform, and a realtor platform that we are giving our customers. So it can be a benefit. We're hoping that it is a benefit. It is very brand new to us, so we're all discovering it and using it. Of course, you guys are going to be the ones that are experiencing it the most because you're on the field, you're sending out those invites, you are communicating with your customers, you're getting feedback. So of course, feel free always to share that information with us. Your trainers are always interested in knowing. Share it with your brokers, your office managers, so that we can always work together with different programs to make it better for you guys. So I'm going to move into this page. This is miamirealtors.com/One Home. We were able to see this short tutorial on the right-hand side. It does give you access information. This access information will allow you to help your customer sign up for One Home. We also have a link that's available for you. This will include the benefits of activating a free One Home account. If we do click on here, it's going to be a PDF that I can share with you guys inside of the chat, but it is available for you. And I don't believe we had this before. So we're able to, of course, share with our customer why they should create an account, right, with One Home so that we can add One Home as a marketing or an additional service that we are providing our customers, and it does have its own marketing inside. I want you guys to focus in on the chat. We have another Miami trainer who's joined us for this class. Her name is Connie Nieto. She's dropped for you some incredible links. We do have our resource links that are available inside of the chat. She's also going to be available to help you with any of your questions regarding One Home. So together, we are both hoping to assist you with One Home. I've just admitted that link in order for you to access the PowerPoint. It's a 2-page PDF with the benefits of activating a free One Home account that you can always share with a customer. I'm going to go ahead and also share that PDF. Right, so you have access to it and you can use it. Moving down, we have webinars and tutorials that you can always reference back to. You have a one home introduction, a walkthrough, and a webinar recording. We also have access to benefits for agents as well. We do have a short tutorial regarding branding your one home portal, and we are going to do that today. And towards the middle of the page, on every service page that we've created, it does highlight what's in it for you. So it is a matrix contact management integration. So there's not a lot of change that has happened to your actual workflow of being able to invite customers and share properties with them. There is additional information that One Home has. It does have a planner. It also has something called a property fit. If your customer were to activate with One Home, they're going to be asked a few questions regarding what it is that they're interested in when they purchase a home. With the questions that are being answered, it'll build out an algorithm for them. So along with the properties that you are sending to them, they can actually filter those properties, the ones that you've sent, of course, into order depending on how it fits with their preferences. And that's what the property fit is. They will have additional property details that are going to be available, and we are going to walk through those. They're also going to be able to do a search inside of their portal. Of course, you would receive access to those portals, and we are going to be talking about how you can receive notifications. One Home is also a responsive design. That means it is responsive on not only the desktop version, but a smartphone and a tablet. Moving down, you do have an additional tutorial that's available for you. This is how One Home is going to keep agents at the center of a transaction. So the idea is, if the customer has a website or a portal that they can go into that looks and offers even more information than these other websites like Trulia and Zillow, then it'll keep them inside of our portal. They won't venture off into these additional websites and then return back to us and maybe have questions, or maybe return to a different agent, right, regarding the questions that they may have because they're on another website. So if we make that website, One Home, into the website that they're already looking at, then we have more chances of staying in front of them. On the right-hand side, you do see that this is one of your 80 realtor products and services that are free from Miami. And as we move downward, we do have frequently asked questions. So what does data in One Home look like? We've just spoken about this. This does look like a clean website that's available for them. They are going to receive public record data, open house information, neighborhood info, and market insights. We did talk about that property fit, and I hope that it is an additional service that you can provide your customers. This is just a conversation that we really should have with our customers before we send them out any property. One Home is mobile friendly. And then we do have a question regarding multilingual, which is important to us. At this time, it is only available in English. Any of your existing emails should have, that's why I'm saying you should have, but CoreLogic let us know that any automatic emails will be brought into One Home so that you shouldn't have had any hiccups or glitches with that. Regarding collaborating One Home and your customer, it should be easy for you to continue working with them in the same way because the functionality of using your portal has not changed. The features have been advanced. The features are a little bit different, but the actual sharing of property remains to be the same. We did talk about the benefits of One Home, and yes, One Home is part of Matrix. So let's jump into our Miami Gateway. You can always access your Miami Gateway by clicking up at the top. You have a login link there, and you also have another additional login area in the middle of your Miami page. If you guys have any questions about what I've just spoken about, please let us know. I was being told that I'm going a little too fast, so I'll slow it down. Initially, I just wanted to give you an introduction of what One Home is. And the takeaway that I want you to have is it is a modern feel for your modern consumer who's looking for an easy way to find a lot of information regarding properties. We're going to get started on miamirealtors.com. The only thing I've showed you is an introduction to One Home. The information that I gave you, the PDF, can be shared with your customers. It's going to give them access to all of the benefits that they would be receiving once they were to log in and create accounts inside of One Home. So you have not changed companies, Sean. That's a great question. We are going to be branding your portal, right? So we are going to be branding your portal, and I'm going to show you how you can add additional information about you so that you make sure that your branding sticks out inside of the One Home portal. But they did create that One Home branding up at the top to create a uniformed look for Matrix users nationwide. That little tiny photo can open up and be an entire website. And also when we send initial invitations or send properties through email, we're going to walk through how you can brand that so that it's not just One Home, but we're also going to add your signature onto that. So yes, that is some news that we've heard from our agents. And we've gone ahead and just kind of looked into it, and we are thinking of the best practices that we can share with you to make the One Home portal experience better. All right, so let's log into our Matrix Gateway. Once you click on the Miami Gateway, it'll give you access to all of our products and services. And I wanted to show you that you can always go back and use a new widget that Matrix has gone ahead and provided for us. This is called the Matrix Learning Lab. It's available inside of your Miami Gateway, and you're able to learn about all of the features of One Home and the advanced features inside of Matrix. I'm going to click inside of the Matrix Learning Lab to give you a guide and additional information that you can use with One Home. So I'm clicking on the Matrix Learning Lab. This is new. And up at the top, you do have a menu, right? So you have your dashboard, you have information regarding Matrix, One Home, and a resource library that's been put together by CoreLogics. You also have a One Home marketing material area, events, and a support section. So if you have any questions, you can always come to support. As I click on it, you can contact them directly. I also wanted to show you that you do have One Home marketing. So if I click on the One Home marketing tab on the top menu, I'm going to have access to One Home marketing materials that are available for me. Some of those materials include that One Home consumer benefit of creating that free account that I shared with you guys. And you're also going to have access to additional videos that are available. So when I click on it, this is a potential video that you can use. As I scroll down, you do have access to share this video. To share this video on the left-hand side, you see where it says get link to public video. You can click on here, and you'll be able to play
Real estate is complicated.
this video.
From financing to open houses to negotiating.
If I click on the share button, it's going to give me access to my social media. So I can share it through Twitter, through Facebook, through LinkedIn, and I can also share it through an email. So this is another great resource that you can use to help your customers
Buying
better
a home
understand
can be
the
extremely
new
confusing,
program.
but it should.
Back to my dashboard, I did want to show you that as you go through the material, we do have a leadership board that has been created. It's been created by CoreLogics Learning Labs. It was for the Miami Realtors. And as you go through the material, you will be assigned points and you will be assigned a leadership badge. So as you go through it, again, it will rank you amongst all of the other members, and it'll also give you additional badges. As you scroll down, you can see the activity that you have learned or what you're in the middle of learning. So for example, these three, I've kind of dipped into them, but I haven't completed them. So they're highlighted up at the top. Then I do have my completed options that I can always go back to review. As I continue to scroll down inside of the learning lab, you will have access to your featured content. So featured content by CoreLogics that they feel will work with you and your business. And as I continue to scroll down, you do have current events that are available. So for example, you do have on-demand webinars, like an introduction of One Home for the Miami Realtors and much more. Scrolling down, you can pick based on the topics that you want to learn. So we do have Matrix, One Home, and Matrix 360, which is a different way to do and create a CMA. So under One Home, if I were to tap on here, you do have 14 different classes that you can take. They are small classes, very short tips. They're anywhere between 2 to 3 minutes. I believe the longest one I've seen is like 12 minutes. Then you have your video courses that are also available for you. So you can always come back here and you can always use this information to kind of refresh on anything regarding Matrix, One Home, or 360. So all of the things that we're pointing out, you don't have to do all of it in order to send over property to your customer. We just want to give you additional option into a very new program. Okay, so moving into the Miami Gateway, we're going to simply tap on Matrix. This is what we would normally do to send property over to our customers. Now, step one should always be to add your client as a customer inside of Matrix. This will avoid an issue with One Home later. You just want to make sure that the customer is inside of your contacts before you send out any information. Where is it that you would find your contacts? Under My Matrix, you have your contacts. Where you see your contacts, you can simply tap on the Add button, where you want to input their first name, their last name, and their email address. Of course, having a great book of business is a great idea. You can always categorize them. And as you add the mandatory fields, which is your first, last name, and email address, please take the time to input their cell phone number. Once you've inputted that information, you can save it to your contacts. This should always be, again, step one before sending out any property to your customer. Again, inside of Matrix, you can reach your contacts by tapping on contacts. This will also give you insight into the activity that's happening inside of One Home. So aside from having the information regarding your customer available to you, such as their name, email address, and category, it'll also list how many auto emails you've sent, if you've created any saved searches, and the last time you used the contact. They'll also be able to see the last time that they visited their One Home portal. If I click on the name of my customer, I'll have further information available, such as the planner. The planner is a new feature inside of your contacts that has been provided for you through One Home. This is going to give your customer insight into the day-to-day or step-by-step of their journey, whether they are listing with you or buying with you. The system will give them step-by-step. That process of either purchasing a home or buying a home is very easy for us, and we know the steps because we're in the industry. But consumers have related that process is very confusing and it can be overwhelming to them. So for your system to be able to provide a planner for them is a great benefit. We also have property fit. So once they have created their portal with you, you will have insight into the questions that they've asked. So what best describes your customer? This customer, based on the questions, answered that they want a new home, they want a yard, they'd like the open concept home, they do need a garage or driveway for their car, they're interested in smart features and smart homes, they are also interested in a green home, but it isn't the top priority, and they don't mind being close to their neighbors. Regarding interior features, they are looking for storage space. Regarding exterior features, they're interested in a pool and a patio. They are asked these questions in a very simple way where they can simply click. Also, these questions are also provided for them in a very visual way. They're provided pictures so that you can have additional insight about what it is that your customer is looking for. On the right-hand side, they do have their recent activities of the times that they have accessed their portal. Moving up and away out of our contacts, I want to talk about branding that portal. So where you have your name, in this example, Hello Christine, you have a drop-down arrow. If you click on this drop-down arrow and you tap on your settings, it's going to give you access to all of your settings as an agent inside of Matrix. We want to talk about two. In this class, we're going to talk about your branding under My Information, and we're also going to be talking about portal notification settings. So we want to make sure to brand your portal, but we also want to make sure that you receive notifications of what's happening inside of the portal with your customer. Let's first click on My Information. Under My Information, where I want you to go to is under the One Home section. So under One Home, there's quite a lot of branding that you can do. The first thing that you want to do is add a headshot. Now, you always can add your company logo, but as somebody mentioned, when you submit information through One Home, that portal will have a small bubble at the bottom, and I think it's best for it to highlight you as an agent, only because they're familiar with you. They've been speaking to you. They've been working with you, so add a headshot. After adding a headshot, you do have contact information that you can add. There's been additional fields that have been added through One Home. So you want to make sure that your first name and last name are available. If you're a part of a team, you can go ahead and add that information here. Another great idea that an agent had was they added their certifications here based on how it's viewed inside of the portal. It looked really nice. You have your phone number, office information, and email. We can also input our social media now. So you want to input your Twitter account, Facebook, and Instagram. We do also have a space where we can input our license number that they can always go back and verify our information in the DBPR and verify that we are licensed real estate agents. Towards the bottom, we also have the ability to input an additional web page. So if you do have a web page, please use the One Home Agent web page URL to input that information. As I scroll down, you also have additional information regarding profile content. This is a great space where you can add additional information about you and your business, welcoming your customer to your portal and your website. You can have a title that's going to be available and that space to input that information. At this time, the portal does show English and Spanish, but this is only populated in English at this time. As I scroll down, I did go ahead and add an additional video. So this video link, you can always add an introductory video of yourself. This is a modern thing that agents are doing for their customers, and customers are very much appreciating these videos. Also, whenever you include video in any of your marketing, it is one of the easiest ways that your customers can absorb information. I've added one called One Home Walkthrough, and this is going to give an example to my customer if they are that type of customer that enjoys viewing additional information about anything that they are about to click on. It gives them instructions on how to use the portal. I'm going to share this YouTube channel and video inside of the chat, so you can always add it to your own if this is something that you'd like to do. I want to share it with you. Once you're done, you can save the changes that you've made in your One Home portal. I have already completed all of the changes inside of my portal. There's another area that I want to focus on. You see where it says email signature? This is another place where I want you to take the time to fill out your information. You want to put in your first name, your title, cell phone number, and email are some ideas. I inputted my office with a slogan, and I've also linked additional websites to myself, such as my website and my social media on Instagram, Facebook, global properties, and my YouTube channel. This is just an idea of what you can do inside of your portal. Now, another great idea is to add a headshot. So if I wanted to do that, I can simply input my mouse where it is that I'd like to add that picture. And then I have the option to click on this image icon, select my image, and pick the picture that I'd like to input. Then I can press OK. This is going to give me access to input my headshot inside of my portal. Now, if you don't have any images inside of your image icon, you do have to add them in. And where you can add them in is inside of your My Information tab and My Header or Footer tab. So if I tap on My Information, if I tap on my header footer, you're going to input your headshot. So you can change or input a headshot here. This will also still be available for your report. So you do want to have your information header and footer updated and branded inside of Matrix. If you have not done that as of yet, please add an image and select your banner. This information used to be part of your portal, but now it's going to be part of your PDFs and reports that you generate inside of Matrix. To select one, simply tap on that circle and click on Preview. But the idea is what I want you to do here is add an image if you don't have any images under your icon. You can always review the information and input it and tap on Save. We have currently branded our information. I want to show you what that looks like. The platform is already available. So now that we've branded our information, I want to jump back into my search and I'm going to pull a search to send to my customer. We would do a search in the same way. So I'm going to search active properties that are single family that have 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, in the city of Hialeah. From here, I'm going to select the properties that I want to send to my customer, and I'm going to email them in the same way that we did before. From here, I'm going to enter my customer's information. You should have already added them into your contacts. In the same way, you can add a subject. Input a message. And as I scroll down, I can press send. Here you can also input your signature. Now, before I press send, there is other agents that used to use a preview button, and you did have a preview button that was available here. That preview button is no longer available. We've also learned after One Home had launched that many realtors were using that preview button in a different way. What they were doing was selecting that preview button not to preview, but to actually share property. So instead of sending property through the portal, what they would do is they would open up their own email address or web provider, email provider, paste that link inside of their own email and send out properties. This was a way that agents were using that preview button. If you were one of those agents, let us know in the chat that that's how you were using the preview button. Say, I did, if you did, because we've just discovered that agents were using it this way. We taught it as a preview button. So if you were using the preview button to share property, in the chat, share with us, I did. I don't see anyone that was using it that way. That's great news. Either way, if you were, Connie has shared with you guys a workaround for that preview. Now, instead of being able to preview, we did learn that agents like to share via links. So that is going to be integrated inside of One Home, and that's coming soon. So again, sharing through a link is going to be coming soon. But as you can see, nothing has changed on how it is that I can share property with a customer. I'm then going to press send, and that's going to go ahead and send out all of those properties to my consumer. Easy peasy. Now from here, I want to show you what their email looks like. When they first receive an email, let me make sure that I'm sharing my screen with you guys, and I am. When they first receive an email from me, it's going to say One Home, welcome to One Home, welcome. And I've gone ahead and I updated this. It says hello, but I put hola. And then it has information. So it says, I've set up a new saved search for you on One Home. I'll send you any new updated listings that match what it is that you're looking for. Let me know what you think about the listings XYZ, and then they're able to view property. So regardless if you are sending property one by one, or if you've created an automated search for them, the process is the same for you, just the branding is a little bit different. But since we updated the signature is going to be available here. So they're able to recognize you as a realtor. Now, aside from that, when they view property, they'll have additional branding from you again, because we went through the process of branding ourselves. If I move down, you see where it says it has a headshot of me. I'll have my headshot on the corner right-hand side, and if I click on it, they'll have me real big. So they'll have insight to you guys, your name, team, company, license number, and social media will all be prevalent. It'll also highlight your slogan, phone number, email address, and a website if you've added one. But you also have a website that's been created for you through One Home. So if I click on View Agent Profile, they're able to see again my contact information, my social media, my slogan, and here it is a little bit about why I do business. Contact information, I can tap on See All Info, and it'll again be available for me. I'm going to tap on that X, and then they have this video that they can watch, right? If they need additional help, they can find it by tapping on Help or calling me. So you do have a full-blown kind of website built into One Home, which is a great option for your customers. On the left-hand side, there's many things that your customers can do before they have to create an account. You have the properties that you've selected for them. They're able to view their properties, or they're able to create a new search if they want. They can also view their favorited. If they have an account, the account will prompt them, haven't we seen you before? Sign into your One Home account to continue. I can always say never mind. And they do also have a planner. So inside of this planner, they can also interact with One Home and with you as an agent, because One Home is one of your benefits. So from here, you have getting ready. They can tap on getting started. They're also able to browse properties. This section, or some of this section, hasn't been highlighted to us as of yet because that marketplace has not been inputted, but at one time, based on feedback, it might be where they're able to look into finance questions. They're able to dive into their home search. They're able to tour some properties or request from you a tour. And then they're also able to start thinking about other costs that are associated with home ownership. They also have information regarding making an offer. So information like how it is that they can prepare to get started with the mortgage process. What is and how do you get a property inspection? Information regarding how agents craft and negotiate offers, and additional information regarding how to prepare for unexpected possibilities. So they're able to kind of deep dive, read these articles, view these steps. And if they're a person that is an A type personality that wants to read and review and research everything before they take the next step, then you have this portal available for them to do it. And it's already built in and they don't have to go somewhere else to view that information. And again, this is available for everyone using their planner option. Let me tap on properties. When they see a property card, they also see a lot of great information. So initially, when you send it to them, you see that their current status is very prominent. So they're not going to get confused whether it's available, not available, if the price has decreased, if it's a new listing, etc. Aside from that, when they tap on that property card, it's a very robust property card. They'll have the address available, the MLS information, and they'll also be able to see if there's any open houses that are going to be hosted. We see that there's going to be an open house November 14th at 11:30 to 2:30 p.m. and then it's a new listing. We see great pictures that they can go through. They're also able to see that it is for sale and they can either dislike it or favorite it. They have information regarding that price point, and they initially have an estimated monthly cost, which could be very insightful and a great motivator for potential buyers. They can also click to breakdown of that monthly cost, and it'll give them access to that breakdown. Mortgage information, what's going to go towards the principal and the interest, what the property taxes could be, what the home insurance information could be, possible HOA fees, none of them are listed because it pulls it from the MLS, and any possible utilities. And it does let them know again that the one home option is just an estimated monthly cost, right? But this is available for them to kind of start getting those numbers or wrapping their mind around what that's going to be costing. Additional to that, they have an option to add a note, and you can view these notes at any time. This is another great way that you can communicate with your customer. They're also able to compare properties. So let's say there's 3 properties they really like. They can tap on start comparing to start comparing those 3 different properties from your search. Aside from that, they have access to market insights. So if I view on these insights, it's going to give me the neighborhood insight with real estate market trends in this area, like the median sales price, if it's owner occupied, or the percentage of properties that are owner occupied, the percentage of properties that are renter occupied, with median list price and median sales price. We don't have many listings in this area, so the list price is not available at this time, but we were able to see that median sales price. We also are able to have insight into demographics like median age group, population, median household income, unemployment rate, and they do have a demographic breakdown. So they can see it based by age, they can see it based by education, and they're also able to see it based by marital status. As they scroll down, you'll have further insight into that information and where that information was pulled from. So you have references that are available for your customer. And of course, this is tied to all of their different properties. Now, if you have a customer that doesn't want to fill out an account or doesn't want to create a password for their portal, this is still all being done without signing up for the portal, right? They're all able to see all of this information. They have access to all of the photos. They have access to view a virtual tour. And then of course, they have their regular information about that property: bedrooms, baths, square feet, and days on market. So even if your customer doesn't speak English or Spanish for the matter, they're able to see easily how many bedrooms, how many baths, square feet, and days on market with international pictures. As I scroll down, they can tap on read more and they'll have access to all of the remarks. They also have information regarding the features, property details. If I tap on them, I'll have additional information, building details, other facts and features, school information with ratings. They can choose from elementary schools, middle schools, high schools, and private schools. So if they like a house, look at all the information that they can really deep dive into and show their family. They can talk about it without having to either go back to you and ask you these additional questions or search around at different websites to find the info. They can simply view it all from your One Home portal. You also have access to public record data that they can view. And again, this ends with that upcoming open house, right? So they see an open house, they can go ahead and even add it to a calendar. Moving down, it also asks, how do you feel about this listing? So sometimes customers can have a feeling about a listing, but unless they are prompted with a question, they might not favorite it, or they might not say that it's not for them. But being prompted, they can. Now, in order for them to create a search, in order for them to interact with the listing, for example, write a note, make it their favorite, or say that it's not for them, they do need to fill out an account. But all of the additional info that we were able to see, no account was necessary to create. You do have additional information regarding getting around the neighborhood. So this is very important for many people, especially people who are relocating from one area to another. They want to know what's the walkability, right? So most areas do require a car. It does give you the walkability score. You can also gives you a walkability score regarding bike and regarding public transportation. As I scroll down, they also have access to price history that's available for them, tax history that's available for them, and similar properties that'll be available. There's a rate plug mortgage payment estimator, which will give them a calculated amount regarding mortgage payment. And again, like I said, those similar properties. Now, these similar properties happen to be some of the properties that I, as a realtor, have submitted to them. I see that the chat is very busy right now. And I see that Connie is doing a great job of helping me with my chat. Thank you so much, Connie. So I see that somebody's saying that they want it to be their work to give this information to your clients. Through your One Home portal, technically they are receiving it from you. So they would consider that this work is on behalf of you as the agent. They don't assume it's for somebody else. They also don't assume that they have to ask you for it or go to another website. It'll have access to it through your portal. Your headshot is always prevalent on the lower right-hand corner. Now, I understand that. I see that there's a lot of issues with Sean that has a problem with the branding, and you're not alone with that, Sean. There's other agents that had an issue regarding the branding. They like more prominent branding on the top or more prominent branding throughout. They really, I guess, were thinking that they wanted it to have a customer experience regarding your customer's experience, and they're assuming that your customer knows who you are and that they're clicking through their portal based on the email that you sent them and that your information is available here. Now, that doesn't mean that it's not being heard. The association has been in communication with CoreLogics and One Home regarding the branding for One Home. So we are hoping to update that branding to keep it clean and modern with adding some additional features regarding the branding, Sean. And that's the actual information that I have regarding the branding at this time. Okay, so again, we know that it's new. Again, we know that it's something that we are all working to get used to, but we are also working on helping get more of that branding inside. Okay. So again, you have that mobile view that's also available. Your mobile view is going to have a larger image of you. So you would cut maybe a quarter. This would be a quarter of the screen with the information. It'll be prevalent, and then this image of you will be bigger, right? You can always add your logo here if you wanted. You can always add your logo to your signature if you wanted in the meantime. But I think that it does give a lot of additional insight to your consumer. And it also, again, the idea is for them to stay with you in the same portal because they have a lot that they can do. So they are able to sign in. If I tap on that sign in button, they do not have to. They're not really creating something brand new from scratch. When you invite them, the email address can already be prevalent there. You're not receiving an additional detail, but they are adding a profile password. So what they're doing is they're adding a password to make sure that their portal is secure. Once the portal is secure, then they'll have additional insight into these properties, and they can communicate with you and their properties in an easier way. So they're now able to like something or favorite something, as you see, or they can also discard it if they want to. So they can choose not to see it again if they don't like a property. So we make sure not to send them properties that they don't like. They're also able to request a tour, so they can input the day that they're interested in viewing it, their available times, and they can request a tour from you. Aside from that, they do, well, we already talked about this, but these are basically the only functions that they weren't able to do: interact with the property and add a note. So if I add a note, then that can reach my agent. Okay, so those are really the only two things that they won't have access to: interacting with the property, and they can also create a new search. So if they tap on new search, they're able to kind of look around. So instead of them going into another place to search for property or waiting for the agent to search a new property for them, they're able to do it all inside of your portal. And yes, we want to have control of what it is that our consumers are doing, but sometimes they're searching for property at 11 o'clock at night while they're watching a movie with their family, and they want to play on their phone and search for property, and they don't necessarily want to talk to a real estate professional at that time. They just want to look at different houses. So in order for us to be able to let them do that, I think that's a great way to make sure that they're engaged with us. Now here, whenever they want to compare a property or go into a new area of One Home, the system's going to give them insight about everything that they can do. So for example, they're introducing something called compare, and this will allow them to compare up to 2 or 3 properties that they really like in order to help them make a decision. And they have this compare button. They tap on next. It's also going to give me access to where it is that I can search for a property. I can search on a specific address, a neighborhood, a city, or a zip code. On the right-hand side, I also have access to drawing on the map or taking my Google person so I can see a map view of the area. Aside from that, in an area that I'm interested in, I also have access to points of interest. Let me zoom in closer so that I can start to apply them. One moment. Okay. So as I zoom closer, I should have access to my points of interest. And where my points of interest are, I have access to arts and entertainment, banking information, education information, fire and police, food and dining, gas stations, healthcare, libraries, post office information, religious organizations, shopping, sports, and transportation. I can then, of course, select the ones that I'm interested in, and in the area, it'll go ahead and highlight those points of interest for me once I tap on apply. And I can move around the area. I can also click on any of them to see what it is that it's highlighting for me and read additional information. Again, you also have your little person here that you can move into the map and preview this area. Right, so this is a great way, especially for somebody who's relocating, somebody who's not familiar with an area. You know, when it is that you show them a property and they happen to want to kind of see what that neighborhood looks like because they're unfamiliar without having to drive there, this is a great option for you inside of one home that you can show them to do, right? Aside from that, let me move out of here. You're able to either show the map or unshow the map. So if you click here and they don't want a map view, then they'll only have access to the properties that you've sent them. I'm obsessed with this house. Between the orange and the blue, it's beautiful. So you can go ahead and view these properties, right? So I can tap on compare. I've added one of my properties to compare, and I'm going to compare it to this property. Okay, and then I can tap on go compare. And I have those two properties that are here. Now, aside from them being here, it was easy for me to compare them. And as I scroll down, look at the general information that I'm able to see side by side. I'm able to see the price point, my property fit score, bedrooms, baths, and square feet. I'm able to see the building price per square foot, the mortgage principal and interest estimator, so the estimated monthly cost for both of these, the features I'm able to compare, such as the type, year built, lot size, heating, cooling, pool, and so much more, the pictures side by side, property details, building details, and more. Another great tool and option that you can offer your customers now through One Home. Now, with everything that they can do inside of their portal, I want to take you back into Matrix and just make sure that you guys have access to receiving portal notifications. We do cover this in Matrix 101, but sometimes we aren't, we kind of have missed where it is that we can do that. So I want to take you right back into Matrix. I want to tap into where it says your name and tap into settings and make sure that we are getting portal notifications. So I'm going to tap on portal notification settings. And from here, I just want to show you that you can receive quite a lot of details directly to your cell phone. You're able to see if they have accessed their portal, if they've saved a favorite, removed a favorite, discarded a listing, undiscarded a listing, added a note, or if it's their first time visiting the portal. Then you can choose whether you want to receive the information ASAP and through email, if you want to receive that notification ASAP but through text, or if you want to receive that information daily one time through email. I myself have chosen to receive a text message the first time, well, the text message when somebody's inside of the portal. I also want to make sure to receive a text message if they add any notes. And I also want to make sure that if they visited the portal the first time, that they are giving me I'm getting a text notification. Aside from that, under text notifications are sent as emails to your phone, you can go ahead and update this information by clicking here to edit your cellular information. Once you click on here, it's going to open up these two fields. You're going to input your cell phone number and select your cellular provider. And once you do that, you're going to receive a text message directly to your phone to link your cell phone with Matrix in order for you to receive those notifications. So again, just to go over everything that we covered today, because we did cover quite a lot, I wanted to cover where it is that you can find that service page. So that's miamirealtors.com/One Home is going to take you to that service page that we talked about early today. This is that video that I showed you. On the right-hand side is where we found those benefits of why your customer should activate their account. Towards the middle are all of the benefits for you. And towards the right, you do have that support number that I'm going to share inside of the chat with you guys. Aside from this section, this was that benefit of activating your free account that we shared inside of the chat. Inside of your Miami Gateway, we also talked about your Matrix Learning Lab. And if I clicked on my Matrix Learning Lab, I was going to have additional resource information. So I did want to show you that we have our One Home marketing material info. And you can scroll down and you can view. We also have a One Home handout that's available that I shared with you guys. We have agent email templates that you can use. We also have agent social templates that are available as well. And agent advertising templates that are available that have been created through One Home to help you with you and your business. So I did want to show you where it is that you can find that information, and that is under One Home Marketing. When it came to your dashboard, we also talked about everything that you can learn regarding your badges that you can claim, the activity that you've completed, the featured content, and if you scroll towards the bottom, you can choose the type of content that you want to learn about, whether that's Matrix, One Home, or Matrix 360. Inside of Matrix, what we did was I went to a recent search, I selected my searches, and I sent them out through email in the same way that you would send out email to a customer. Very easy, nothing has changed. Aside from that, I gave it a subject and I also inputted the text. I then went ahead and I pressed send, and off it went to the portal. Now, aside from being able to regularly email the properties, in the same way, you're also able to save a search or send a new automated email. That's, of course, when you let the properties populate based on criteria. We add our customer just the same, add the subject just the same, and send it in the same manner. You select whether you want to send them ASAP, whether you want to select them daily or once a month, and you press save. We also talked about inside of My Matrix that your first step whenever you're going to start working with a customer and the One Home portal is to add a client. In order for you to add a client, you tap on add on the top right-hand corner, you input their first name, you input their last name, you input their email address. Those are the mandatory fields. I also advise to input their cell phone number and to also categorize them. And once you're done, scroll toward the bottom and press on save. This will give you access to saving a customer. We also talked about the fact that you can click on a customer name and have additional insight. We talked about the One Home Planner, the property fit, and how you can view recent activity. Aside from that, we talked about how you can see their auto emails, their carts, sent email that you've sent to them, searches that you've created, One Home searches that they've created, and you also have access to editing the information with the top right-hand corner, that edit button. If I click on contacts and tap on that name once again, you also have the ability to delete the content. So quite a lot of information that you can do from here, and not a lot of it has changed, but we do have access to One Home. Moving under our name, we also talked about where it is that we could tap under our settings, and we talked about branding ourselves. So under my information, we talked about making sure to add our details to our email signature so that when we send out a property, inside of that email, they'll receive, yes, up at the top, it'll say One Home because that's the name of the customer portal, but it'll also end with the information that you have regarding you and your business. We also talked about building out that One Home website. We talked about inputting your headshot, scrolling down and filling out your contact information the best you can, and making sure to include your social media and your website. Towards the bottom, we talked about inputting profile content and that it's only available in English at this time. And I also shared with you guys a great video, I'll share it again, that you can input under your video link that talks your customer through using the portal. From here, I'm tapping on our settings once again. From here, we also talked just now about our portal notifications where we want to select the activity inside of the portal that we want to receive, and we want to check off how we want to receive it, whether you want to receive it by email, by text, or if you want to receive it, a summary of everything once. We talked about how it is that you can add your phone number. We also talked about what that automated email looked like, or that first initial email with that welcome information, that branding towards the bottom. And then we deep dived into what the customer can do inside of their One Home portal. We also talked about your branding on the bottom right-hand corner. We also talked about your social media, and we viewed your agent profile that's available. Inside of the One Home portal, we talked about everything that they can do, whether they want to view the property on a map or off the map, create a new search, or find properties in points of interest in an area. We also talked about whether it is that they wanted to see a particular area. So if I click on it, it'll actually map it out in my area. I can take my little dude and kind of drop him right into this area so I can view, right, everything that's going on in this sector. We also talked about how it is that I can tap into one of my property cards and all of the great information they'll have access to, where they can request a tour, see their monthly costs, and add notes to you. We were also able to see that they can dislike it or not like it. They can compare properties, see market insights and demographics, property information, a map with information in the area, features, property details, school information, public record data, and open houses. They're able to see walkability score and transportation information, as well as price, tax, and more. So with that, guys, that is the completion of your One Home Portal class. Thank you so much for spending this morning with me. Thank you, Connie, for all of that great help that you gave me this morning. There was a lot of questions inside of the chat. I hope that we continue to bring you great news about One Home and that we continue to hear your feedback and be able to come back with better and better news. So yes, we have received all of your feedback. Feel free to share more with us. We are trainers at miamire.com. Thank you so much, Judith, for allowing me to host this class for you today regarding One Home. If you want to make any announcements before I go, I can go ahead and pause here.
Yep. Thank you, Christine. This was great. One thing, if you can send me the link to the recorded video so that I can go ahead and share it with all the agents that were on and some of the agents that have missed it. But this was a great help, I think. Thank you.
You're welcome. I will be happy to share that link with you. Thank you for having me this morning. Have a beautiful rest of your weekend. Thank you for being Miami members. Have a great day, guys. Bye.